Shalom, shalom, shalom. First off, I want to start up by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due to Yahweh. By Hashem in the name, Yahweh Shai in the name of the only begotten Son. Also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And so peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, preaching this word in truth and sincerity on the brother Tazabah. Lord will with another video to edify. And I wanted to get in to the topic of persecution and famine of the word, right? And when I play, I got a whole line of videos, right? I'll stitch these things together. And when I play these things together, right, the message is going to be extremely clear, man. We coming down to the time. And like Paul said, he said, yeah, not resisting unto blood, but we going to have to prepare to resist unto blood, right? Brothers, I'm telling you, man, like Esau is working hard to fuck with numbers on videos, man. To ensure this thing doesn't just blow wide the fuck open, right? There's a reason why that small hat woman sat there and said the biggest threat is the so-called black male in America, right? There's a reason why she said that. And what you're going to see is now they're pulling all the pieces together to set up a persecution to justify a law to come at the prophets. And that's completely fine, right? So let's get into this, man, right? I'm going to play this from the elders' algorithm, right? And these are, man, I try to tune into every one of these, man, because, brothers, if you don't watch them, these are the most edifying, some of the most edifying lessons going into current events. And they all compile them. It's like the brothers just let the information stack up and they bring it all out at once. And it's beautiful. But I'm going to play this, right?
Put a clip. I guess they put it on RT. Listen to this.
A Palestinian woman has been arrested in Israel for allegedly expressing support for terrorists on social media. Her case is the first after Israel passed a law to criminalize the so-called consumption of terrorist materials. Local police claim the woman's online status was pro-Hamas. Here is the moment she was apprehended.
Now she knows she's through. She knows, oh no, I'm in trouble. Because these Israeli police don't play around. And so she knows that it's over with. Basically, whatever she did was considered terrorism. And they're doing this over there in the state of Israel with this type of stuff, roundabouts. People think this is crazy. And we noticed from the time of that jab, the state of Israel was on it. They'll arrest your ass, lock you up if you didn't want the jab or if you didn't comply.
You see? So these are the days we're in. Now, simply by what you share. See, simply by what you share is going to be reason enough for these devils to try to throw you in prison. Now, I got this right here, right? Got 2 videos. I took little screen recorders of them. I want to play these, right? So, peep this. This is from Redacted.
Is absolutely anti-Zionist, to be sure, but what we're saying here is it's worth understanding. It's anti-homophobic. He talks about
Anti-homosexual,
anti-homophobic. It is homophobic. I'm sorry. It is absolutely anti-Zionist, to be sure, but what we're saying here is it's worth understanding why people attack us, and if there's anything we can do to stop it, and absolutely there is. In the anti-Semitic part, he says that Americans allow the Jews to take land from them in Palestine and destroy their mosques and keep them under the Jewish protection of weapons. He warns, though, that civilians should be held accountable for this. This is what we call collective punishment. He says you may dispute that all of the above.
That's for a different lesson. This is the one.
Bin Laden's letter to America, which I will be going through right here, but it's actually so mind-fucking to me that terrorism has been sold as this idea to the American people and honestly just so many Western inhabitants within certain nations that this group of people, this random group of people just suddenly wakes up one day and just fucking hates you, just wants you dead, wants you gone, and this is all because they believe that they're better than us. Like, that is the root of terrorism. It doesn't make sense. They just hate your fucking nation. But reading this letter, it becomes apparent to me that the actions of 9/11 and those acts committed against the USA and its people were all just the buildup of our government failing other nations.
Now, are those kids saying that Bin Laden was right to blow up the Twin Towers? Clearly not.
You see?
Also,
and they're not saying these things. But you see from the first video I showed, by the woman simply agreeing and saying, you know what? They got a point. Right? Police came out to lock her ass up. Right? And at some point, they're going to label this message that we got in that same light. Let me get this, man.
What?
Damn commercials, man.
Let me bring you up to speed. Folks, while everybody's focused on what's happening in Israel and Gaza, I'm going to bring your attention to a major story happening this week that nobody seems to be covering.
You see, and you'll look at the stuff that's happening over there and act like your fucking First Amendment rights and the Constitution is going to protect you here in the States. No, buddy. Remember, the Lord said, hey, there's going to be a trial upon all the world, right?
The Biden administration is literally steps away from regulating all internet service providers and taking over all internet infrastructure across the United States.
Brendan Carr is calling the Biden administration's digital equality plan for all internet services and infrastructure an awful power grab. He said President Biden's plan hands the administrative state effective control of all internet services and infrastructure in the country. Carr went on to say the Biden administration's plan empowers the FCC to regulate every aspect of the internet sector for the first time ever.
So let's verify this for ourselves right off the Federal Communication Commission website, right off the government's website. And this is astounding because this is the head of the FCC himself right there. Carr opposes Biden's plan. As always, this is in my sources, so you can check it out and read it for yourself. President Biden's plan sweeps entire industries within the FCC's jurisdiction for the first time in the agency's 90-year history. President Biden's plan allows the FCC to impose unfunded build mandates on ISPs and unlimited monetary fines on every covered entity. The final vote for this is happening pretty much immediately.
You see? So this all ties into persecution and famine of the word, because these companies, right, YouTube, all these internet service providers that allow the speed for the internet to be used to let this word go out, they're going to persecute. They're going to label brothers T-words, right, for simply preaching the scriptures and for people agreeing with the message, because people are agreeing with the message because it's the truth. The scriptures tell you faith which has so long been without fruit shall be declared. And people are agreeing with the scriptures. People know we the real Israelites. People know them small hatters are fake, right? You give enough time for us to speak and for us to bring out these scriptures, there ain't no denying it, right? So persecution comes off the back of that, right? So let me get some precepts, get some scriptures, and Lord will this all be edifying, man. It's Acts 24. Acts 24. In 5, it says, for we have found, I'll start up. Verse 3, it says, we accepted always and in all places, most noble Felix, with all things thankfulness, notwithstanding that I be not further tedious unto thee, I pray thee that thou wouldest hear us of thy clemency a few words. It says, for we have found this man a pestilent fellow, All right, let's get that word, man. I actually never looked that up. It's that word pestilent. Come on now. It says pestilence, a pestilent fellow, a pest, a plague. Right? And what have they been doing? Hate is a disease. Hate's a plague. They're trying, and they label us so-called hate speech. Right? Now it says, for we have found this man a pestilent fellow, a mover of sedition among all the Jews throughout the world, and a ringleader of the sect of the Nazarenes. You see? They're going to label us seditious fellows. Your message is too dangerous. You need to be locked up. Just like they doing with them Palestinians, right? You don't want to say it too much because Esau put a ding on the video, but exactly the same way. In the same exact way. And now they're sitting there letting this stuff proliferate with the whole Bin Laden letter and shit. And people, and they're letting these videos become, because nothing's going mainstream without Esau allowing it, bro. But they're letting these videos go mainstream, right? And become so viral that all these people are looking up and agreeing. He had a point, right? That's what they're saying. All these people are looking at those videos and saying he had a point. So they're agreeing with somebody that Esau's labeled a terrorist, right? So when they start agreeing with us, Esau's already labeled us that. So they're going to have in their mind, they're going to have all authority to lock everybody up. Did you share this content? Lock them up. They're doing it in Israel, right? And them small hatters make the laws for America. Look at the top seats in your government in America. They're all small hatters with dual citizenships, right? When Yahushua was on the earth, man, right? He caused uproars of people, man. Moved entire cities to try to take his head off. Understand that point and know that we come in that same stead. This is 2 Timothy 3. And 12. It says, and yeah, all that will live godly in a Mashiach shall suffer persecution. You see? So are you living godly in the Lord? Well, we're going to suffer persecution. It's part of the battle. But man, through that persecution comes the power. You ain't going to get that power without a reason and have to use it. All right? The Lord is going to make sure we justify it and why he handed down that amazing power to us when we needed to get out of a fucking bind. Mark 4:17, it says, I'll just get to 17. It says, and have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a time, but after a time afterwards, when affliction or persecution ariseth for the word's sake. So right there is telling you that affliction and persecution is going to arise for the words that we're preaching, the message of the scriptures, right? It's been prophesied. It's been told you that these things are going to happen. Immediately they are offended, but don't be of those that will be offended. When you go read the scriptures, the apostles, they were glad when they suffered and when they got stripes for Yahushua's sake. That's the same mindset we got to be in. Right? Because we gonna go through it. We gonna go through it. Esau gonna plaster brothers' faces up. Label us this and that. Family's gonna turn against us. There's a scripture where it tells you that the son shall deliver up me see that. Here it is. Matthew 10 and 21. It says, "And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death." Why? You agree with this, Mom? You're one of them. Right? It's going to be a modern day witch hunt, right? Like they had a Salem witch trials. That's just going to be happening in real time now. Right? You agree with those Israelites? Hey, it's going to happen. For simply preaching the word, walking in a fashion against this world. Because these people, hey, they're putting out that collective judgment. Like they've been talking about, collective judgment. Right? And when you go into, what is it? I think it's 2 Ezra 15. Second Ezra 15 and how does it go? It says, Second Ezra 16:71. It says, "They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord." Right? All the sharing of videos, reposting it, talking about it, all that stuff, likes and comments. Esau is going to sit here and quantify everybody. Oh, you like them Israelites. And the ones that majorly get down with us are other Israelites. So understand the predicament, right? But within this, the Lord said what? Then shall Michael, that great angel, stand up, standing for thy people. That great prince stand up, which standing for thy people. The Lord is going to sit here and set up a deliverance. I also want to touch on the aspect of the famine of the word, because Esau is putting down the clamps on everything. The message is going to be cut off. The sacrifice, right? They did it in the old world. They want to do it now. Right? Get this, man. This is Hosea 3 and 4. It says, "For the children of Israel shall abide without many days without a king." Now this is going into right, when we fell away, right? Getting taken down by the heathen, right? Then the heathen taking away the sacrifice. This is going into those times, right? 70 AD as well, a little bit. But Esau is going to push this forward more because he doesn't want this message to be out there. Remember, he's a vagabond, and he's a fugitive, and we're holding the truth. We're holding the witness against his crimes. "For the children of Israel shall be many days without a king," right? There were no kings in Israel for a long time. "Without a prince, and without a sacrifice, without an image, and without an ephod, and without a teraphim." Right? Now, Esau, the sacrifice is back, and his plan is to cut off that sacrifice. The scriptures tell you that we have a sacrifice. Let's see that. Jeremiah 33 and 11, it says, the voice of joy and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, the voice of them that shall praise Yahweh, that shall say, praise Yahweh of hosts. Yahweh power is good, for Yahweh is good, his mercy endureth forever. And of them that shall bring the sacrifice of praise into the house of Yahweh. You see, this praise, the bringing of the words of the Lord, this is a sacrifice of praise, a sacrifice of the lips, right? This is a sacrifice of the mouth, right? Because we're giving up the praises to the Lord. And Esau wants to cut off that message. But he can't. He can't. Only he who now let it will let until he be taken out of the way. Only the Lord is going to let what happens happen. But that famine of the word, through all this, I ain't even got to get the scriptures on famine of the word. We go through it all the time, right? Them tightening down everything. They're actually even talking about Google's supposed to be shutting down all type of inactive accounts, right? Pretty soon. So this is where we at, man. Prophecy is moving along. Shalom.